The holidays are upon us, and you might be wondering, what gifts can you give to the whiskey lover in your life? And I'm here to help you answer that question. I'm Metahuman Dave, one half of Brolic Whiskey. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you're interested in seeing more honest and simple whiskey reviews, please hit that little subscribe button and the bell notification so you get notified of new whiskey reviews. We upload a new video every single week. Before we get onto the list, small little disclaimer. Every single thing here, I'm going to leave a link down in the description box below to make it easy for you to find the gifts I recommend. And I did leave some affiliate links or Amazon links. And although it doesn't affect your pricing, it does give us a little bit of a kickback, so it does help support the channel. But again, it doesn't affect your shopping experience whatsoever. So let's move on to the list. Number one, gonna keep it real simple for you guys. Number one's, of course, whiskey. If you have a whiskey lover in your life, he probably has a favorite whiskey. And no matter how many bottles of your favorite whiskey you have, there's never too many. So if you know they like something, you can always just choose to give them another bottle of whiskey. Moving on to number two, if they're a whiskey lover, they might be a geek as well and want to know a little bit more about whiskey. So books related to the topic of whiskey is always a great option. I'm going to show you my personal favorite book called Whiskey Distilled, a populist guide to the water of life, written by Greene. This is a fantastic book. I've actually read it multiple times. I know I have the hard copy, so it's might be a little too reflective for you guys, but hopefully you see it just fine. Fantastic book, highly recommend it. For even someone who doesn't know much about whiskey, when they're finished reading this book, they will feel like they know enough to have a great conversation with other people. She really goes in depth. Fantastic book. On to number three, ice molds. If you are getting a gift for a whiskey lover, they might like their whiskey on the rocks. And having whiskey with large ice cubes is always better than small ice cubes, so it doesn't dilute the whiskey too fast. Now, don't make the mistake I made. I actually purchased the wrong sized ice cubes. The best one that you can get for most rocks glasses is going to be a 2.5 inch mold. Better molds won't have this little piece on the side too. It'll be a nice round sphere so it doesn't dilute too fast. So I did leave a link down below for the 2.5 inch molds. Two different styles. One style is very similar to the kind I have here, which is a silicone mold, and one that's a little bit more high-tech. Number four is very similar to the last one we just spoke about. We're going to talk about stones. These are usually made out of granite, and they will chill your whiskey without any dilution. So a lot of people are really looking towards these right now. My biggest recommendation to you is don't get the stainless steel version. They just don't work well whatsoever. They don't hold the coolness very long. So stone is definitely the way to go. I'll leave a link to two of the most popular brands down below, but in all honesty, any stones will do. On to number five. We're now at the halfway point of the video. Actually, I should run a little closer, but let's talk glassware. For a true whiskey aficionado or someone who wants to get a little more into the whiskey that they are drinking, Glencairn glasses. I recommend the Glencairn. It's a really nice feeling glass, but the main thing is it's got a bulb at the bottom. It tulips together and then opens up a little bit. That is trapping the aromas so that they don't just come right out. All the aromatics that you want to nose the glass with will remain in here. You can even get like little toppers for it if you really don't want the aromas to escape until you're ready, but that's a little more fancy. Right now you can just get a couple of glasses from Glencairn. Left a link down below for where you can pick up some Glencairn glasses. If you want to take it a step further, and I know it's hard to see on video because this is a very light etching, but if you want to go a little more personal, you can also etch your Glencairn glasses to make it more personal to the person you're gifting to. I don't have any experience with the Norland glass, but the Norland glass is another one that people have been drinking whiskey out of. Biggest difference between the two, other than the shape, is price point. You can get a 4-pack of Glencairns for about $30, and the Norlands, you're picking up 2 of them for about $50. I'll leave a link down below if you're more interested in that one as well, but glassware, absolutely imperative to the whiskey lover in your life. The next one that I have a recommendation for is actually something I've never experienced in person. While I was doing research for this video, I came across something that sounds pretty interesting, especially if you're a Scotch drinker, especially if you're an Islay Scotch drinker. But it is a Scottish peat, which peat moss. It's an incense burner, more or less. So it's this cool little ceramic cottage that you burn the incense inside, you put the topper on it, and the smoke billows out of the chimney, making your house smell like peat smoke. I've never seen one, but it is something that even someone like myself would be interested in seeing in person, or possibly being gifted. Hint. Moving on to my next recommendation, something I don't personally have. It's actually something that's been on my wish list for a very, very long time. Some of my favorite whiskey channels actually use it. It's called an angel share dropper. So you guys might see me in my videos. I struggle sometimes trying to get the right amount of water to add to the whiskey when I'm trying to get just 1 or 2 drops. Sometimes you grab too much when you're using a normal glass straw. And it's really not that fancy looking. It's just a cylinder, right? The Angel Share dropper set is a beautiful piece of art. It's an absolutely gorgeous dropper, and it helps you grab a single drop at a time a whole lot easier. The one I recommend, because it's one that I've always wanted, is the full dropper set. You can get just the dropper by itself for about $35, I believe. And then the full dropper set's going to push you close to about $65 to $80. But that one is going to have a barrel stave holder so that you can actually hold it lengthwise with the barrel stave here. And there's going to be a mini Glencairn glass on the side so that you can grab your water to put into your whiskey. Beautiful piece of art. Totally recommend that one. Moving up in price for the next 2. Okay, number 8 on my list is a nosing kit. Again, something I personally don't own, but it's something that's been on my wish list for a really long time. They are not the cheapest gift you can give, but they are totally a winner for someone who's more of an aficionado. This isn't going to be a gift for someone who's just freshly getting into whiskey. This is someone who's already been nerding out about whiskey and wants to take it a step further. A nosing kit helps teach your senses how to pick up the flavors out of, or the scents out of your whiskey. So rather than just saying, oh, I smell vanilla and caramel, you might start learning how to pick up more of the nuances within the whiskey. And they usually start at about $150 for 24 little vials of different scents that are in the box. They normally come in a nice box as well, so it really makes for a beautiful presentation. I'll leave a link below where you can pick up your nosing kit. The next one takes things a little bit further. More than just a nosing kit, you can actually take a bourbon stewardship course, either online or in person, from the Stave and Thief Society. What's really cool about this program is they will educate you. So if you really want to learn about bourbon, this is a course that's a little pricey, but a lot more affordable than some of the things that are out there. You can get a nosing kit. This one is a little pricier than the one I recommended in the last number, but it has 36 different nosing scents. It sells for about $250 from their company. There's also a $60 handbook that you can purchase so that you can do an online course to become a bourbon steward. If you really want to take it a step further, rather than getting those two, you can actually send someone to Louisville, Kentucky and take the course in person. The course gives you the handbook and the nosing kit when you take it, but the course is $500 plus travel expenses if you're having to send someone to Kentucky. But man, if you have a whiskey lover in your life, they're going to love that gift. We're always looking to learn more about whiskey. Number 10, my favorite one, the one that I'm going to recommend highly, is subscription memberships. So my selection was Flaviar. I've been looking into Flaviar for a really, really long time, been wanting to become a member, but it is a little pricey, and I'll be honest with that. This is the only one though that I was able to work a discount out for you guys, so if you are interested in something like this, wait till the end of the video, I'll give you a discount code. But what's really cool about this is every single quarter you will get a sample tasting box. They come with a nice little coaster. Inside here is also tasting notes on the different whiskeys that are inside the sample box. I'm not going to open this one up yet because I will open it for another video. But inside here are 3 different whiskeys to taste, along with the tasting notes like I mentioned. Every quarter you get one of these. There's a whole lot of perks to the membership. I can link you right here, or right here. I'm going to link you to another video I shot on the benefits of Flaviar, because there's way too many to list right here. Awesome, awesome gift. You can get some exclusive whiskeys only through the membership, and honestly, I believe this would go over well for any whiskey lover in your life. I said that we were going to have a discount code for Flaviar, so here it is. Usually there's a waiting list for this club. It's normally like an online speakeasy. You have to wait for an opening before you can join. I have a website that lets you skip the waiting list, so I'll link that right across below, which is flaviar.com/exclusive. I'll also link it down in the description. That skips the waiting list. You get to sign up immediately. On top of that, if you use the code Brolic, BROLIC, you will save 10% off of your annual dues, which is a huge savings. That alone is why I say go ahead and use the code and save some money. I guarantee you, if you get someone a gift to Flaviar, you won the holiday season. They will love you. They will say it was their favorite gift of the season. Well, that's my list. Let me know down in the comments section below if any of the gifts that I recommended are something you're going to pick up this year. Also, leave me a comment if there's something that you feel I left off on this list. Until next time, I hope you stick around, and I'll see you on one of my future reviews. Cheers and happy holidays.